The night shift at Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Station was usually quiet. Most workers spent their time watching endless streams of data flow across their screens, looking for any unusual patterns in the cosmic noise. But tonight was different. Tom Parker sat up straight in his chair, his coffee cup forgotten as he stared at his screen. The pattern he was seeing didn't make sense. It wasn't random space noise, and it certainly wasn't from Earth's satellites. The signals were coming from different points in deep space, and they were talking to each other. "Sir," Tom called out, his voice breaking the silence of the control room. "I think you need to see this." Commander James Walker moved quickly to Tom's station. He was a tall man with gray hair and sharp eyes that had seen more than he would ever tell. As he looked at the screen, his face grew serious. "How long has this been happening?" Walker asked, his eyes fixed on the dancing patterns. "Just picked it up about 10 minutes ago, sir. But the computer says these signals have been going on for weeks. We just weren't looking in the right place." Walker pressed a button on his communication device. "Get me Dr. Miller from Signal Analysis. Now." Within an hour, the quiet control room had turned into a buzz of activity. Dr. Miller and her team worked frantically to decode the signals. As more data came in, their faces grew pale. "Commander," Dr. Miller said, pushing her glasses up her nose, "these are conversations between different alien civilizations. They're talking about Earth." Walker's face remained calm, but his hands tightened on the back of Tom's chair. "What are they saying?" Dr. Miller handed him a tablet. "Most of it is still encrypted, but we've managed to decode some parts. They're afraid, Commander. They're warning each other about Earth." The decoded messages told a strange story. Over the past 70 years, several alien scout ships had tried to enter Earth's atmosphere. None had returned. The aliens couldn't understand it. Their technology was far superior to what they could see on Earth's surface. There were no visible defense systems, no advanced space fleet, nothing that could stop their ships. Yet something was stopping them. "Look at this part." Dr. Miller pointed to a section of text. "They're calling Earth the Silent Guardian. They think we're hiding something." Walker read the message and allowed himself a small smile. They had no idea how right they were. In his office later that night, Walker opened a secure communication channel. The screen lit up with the faces of 12 people, the Council of Guardians. They were the true protectors of Earth, working in secret since 1947. "They're finally talking about us," Walker reported. "The aliens know something's wrong, but they haven't figured out what we've been doing." After all these years, one of the council members said, "They still underestimate us. They still think we're just primitive beings who got lucky." Another council member leaned forward. "Should we tell the public? They have a right to know we're not alone." Walker looked at the latest signal data on his screen. "I think it's time. We've kept this secret for over 70 years. We've captured their ships, studied their technology, and built defenses they can't even detect. We're not the helpless planet they think we are." The council voted. After decades of silence, it was time to reveal the truth. Humanity had never been defenseless. Every alien ship that had tried to sneak into Earth's atmosphere had been quietly caught, their crews safely contained, and their technology carefully studied. As the sun rose over the monitoring station, Walker looked out at the morning sky. Somewhere up there, alien civilizations were warning each other about Earth. They were right to be worried. Humanity had spent decades preparing, learning, and building. They weren't just ready for first contact. They had been controlling it all along. Tom's voice came over the intercom. "Sir, we're picking up a new signal. It's bigger than the others. I think they're planning something." Walker smiled. "Let them come." Earth was ready. It had always been ready. The game of hide and seek was about to end. It was time to show the galaxy what humanity could really do. The underground facility beneath Mount Baker looked like any other military base from the outside. But 50 floors below the surface, the Guardians were about to reveal humanity's greatest secret. Commander Walker stood in front of a massive window, looking into a hangar larger than 3 football fields. Inside were 7 alien ships, each from a different world, each captured quietly over the decades. Engineers in white suits moved around the vessels, studying and learning from their advanced technology. "The public will be here in an hour," said Dr. Ross, the head scientist. He was an older man with kind eyes and hands that showed years of working with alien machinery. "Are you sure we're ready for this?" Walker nodded. "They need to know, especially now." The first group of reporters and world leaders arrived exactly at 9 a.m. Their faces showed pure shock as the elevator doors opened to reveal the underground hangar. Camera flashes filled the room, and gasps echoed off the walls. "Ladies and gentlemen," Walker began, his voice firm and clear, "what you're seeing is real. Since 1947, Earth has been silently defending itself from alien visitors. But the Roswell incident wasn't a crash. It was our first successful defense." He walked over to the smallest ship, touching its smooth metal surface. "Every ship you see here tried to enter Earth's atmosphere without permission. Each one was caught by our defense system, a shield we built using technology from that first capture in 1947. Dr. Ross stepped forward, pressing a button on his tablet. A large screen came to life, showing a 3D map of Earth. Blue lines of energy wrapped around the planet like a net. "We call it the Silent Shield," Dr. Ross explained. "It's completely invisible to normal detection methods. When unauthorized ships try to enter our atmosphere, the shield disrupts their systems. Not enough to destroy them, just enough to bring them down safely where we can capture them." A reporter raised her hand. "How is this possible? How did we build something so advanced?" Walker smiled. "We had help. The first alien ship we captured had a crew of 3. They weren't hostile. They were explorers who made the mistake of entering our atmosphere without asking. Instead of treating them as enemies, we learned from them." He pressed another button, and part of the wall slid away to reveal a comfortable living area. Through the window, they could see aliens of different species moving about, reading, working on computers, and talking with humans in white coats. "These are our guests," Walker continued. "Some chose to stay after their capture, helping us understand their technology. They realized Earth wasn't primitive. We were just careful, very careful." Dr. Ross moved to a large machine in the corner. "This is what powers the shield. It's a combination of their technology and our innovations. We didn't just copy their work, we improved it. That's why no alien race has figured out how we're stopping them. We created something entirely new." The room fell silent as everyone took in the magnitude of what they were seeing. Humanity hadn't just been hiding. They had been learning, growing, and preparing. "But why reveal this now?" another reporter asked. Walker's face grew serious. "Because they're coming. Not just scout ships anymore. Someone out there has decided to send a real military force to Earth. They think we're defenseless. They think we don't know they're coming." He smiled slightly. "They're wrong." He walked to the center of the room, standing tall under the bright lights. "For over 70 years, the Guardians have protected Earth. We've captured their ships without firing a shot. We've learned their secrets while keeping our own. And now, when they think they're ready to surprise us, we're going to surprise them instead." Dr. Ross touched one of the alien ships, his hand running over symbols that glowed at his touch. "Everything we've built, everything we've learned, it was all for this moment. Earth isn't just defended, it's ready." As the reporters furiously took notes and cameras flashed, Walker looked up at the ceiling, knowing what waited beyond. The aliens thought they were coming to find a primitive world. Instead, they would find a planet that had been quietly preparing for them for generations. The time for hiding was over. Now it was time to show the galaxy exactly what humanity could do. The alert came at midnight. Red lights flashed across every screen in the Global Defense Command Center as a massive alien ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel near Mars orbit. Captain Emma Stone stood at her command post, watching the giant hologram that showed the alien vessel. It was huge, about the size of a small city, and clearly built for war. Its dark metal surface bristled with what looked like weapon ports. "They're not even trying to hide," she said, her eyes fixed on the display. "They want us to see them coming." The alien ship's engines glowed bright blue as it moved toward Earth. Behind it, 5 smaller ships appeared, spreading out in attack formation. Commander Walker's voice came through the speakers. "Captain Stone, is the Lightning ready?" Emma looked around the bridge of humanity's first space battleship, built using everything they had learned from captured alien vessels. The Lightning was humanity's masterpiece, smaller than the alien ship, but packed with 70 years of combined human innovation and alien technology. "Ready and waiting, sir," she replied. "Should we power up the shield disruptors?" "Not yet." Walker's voice was calm. "Let them come a bit closer. Let them think they've surprised us." The alien fleet moved past Mars, their engines pushing them faster and faster toward Earth. On the command screens, their weapons systems were powering up. "They're launching smaller craft," reported Jack, Emma's sensor officer. "Looks like they're preparing for a full attack run." Emma smiled. "Exactly what we wanted. All stations, prepare for Operation First Strike. Remember, we want to disable, not destroy." The Lightning's crew moved with quiet efficiency. They had trained for this moment for years. The ship's advanced cloaking system, reverse-engineered from 3 different alien technologies, kept them completely hidden. The alien fleet was now just past the moon's orbit. Their communications arrays were active, probably preparing to broadcast their demands to what they thought was a helpless planet. "Now," Emma ordered. The Lightning appeared directly in front of the alien fleet, its silver hull gleaming in the sunlight. Before the aliens could react, precise beams of energy shot out from ports along the Lightning's sides. The alien ship's engines sputtered and died. Their weapons powered down. Even their life support systems shifted to emergency backup power. They hung in space, dead in the water, but with their crews perfectly safe. "Tactical, report," Emma commanded. "Direct hits on all targets, Captain." The shutdown pulse worked exactly as designed. They'd got enough power for life support and basic systems, but that's it. Emma nodded. "Communications, send the message. All frequencies, all languages we know." The main screen lit up as Earth broadcast its first official message to the galaxy. Emma's voice, translated into over 50 alien languages, echoed across space. "This is Captain Emma Stone of the Earth Defense Ship Lightning. Your unauthorized approach to Earth has been stopped. Your weapons are disabled. Your engines are offline. This is not an accident. This is not a malfunction. This is a demonstration." She paused, letting the words sink in. "For decades, you've sent ships to study us. We caught them all. You thought we were primitive. We learned from every ship we captured. You thought we were defenseless. We were preparing. You thought you could surprise us. We've been watching you since before you knew we existed." The alien ships floated silently, their crews probably struggling to understand how their mighty fleet had been stopped by a single Earth vessel. "In 1 hour, your systems will restart. You will be free to return home. Take this message with you. Earth is not your target. Earth is not your prey. Earth is not your conquest waiting to happen. We are willing to talk. We are willing to trade. We are willing to be friends. But we will not be threatened." Emma looked at the final line of the message and smiled. "Remember this moment. Remember how easily we stopped you. Remember that we chose to stop you without harm. This is Earth's first and final warning. We see you. We've always seen you. And we're ready for anything you bring. The choice of what happens next is yours." As the message finished broadcasting, Emma watched the alien ships drift harmlessly in space. In 1 hour, they would regain power and limp home to spread the word. Earth wasn't helpless. Earth had never been helpless. The real first contact was about to begin. And this time, humanity was setting the terms. The Galactic Council chamber was massive, with towering crystal walls that reached up into darkness. Hundreds of alien representatives sat in rising tiers, all eyes fixed on the first human to ever stand at the speaker's podium. Ambassador Thomas Reed adjusted his simple black suit, a sharp contrast to the colorful robes and elaborate outfits worn by the alien delegates. He looked calm, but his heart was racing. This was humanity's moment to show they belonged among the stars. Members of the Galactic Council, he began, his words automatically translated for each species present. 3 days ago, Earth stopped a battle fleet without firing a single destructive shot. Today, I'm here to explain why we've hidden our true capabilities for so long. The chamber's main display screen came to life, showing images from Earth's secret facilities. Gasps echoed through the chamber as they saw the collection of captured ships, not just the 7 publicly revealed, but dozens more. For 76 years, we've been collecting your ships, Reed continued, not because we wanted to steal technology, but because we needed to understand. We needed to know who we were dealing with. He pressed a button, and new images appeared, detailed scans showing hidden alien observation posts near Earth, stealth ships that thought they were undetectable, and even small probes that had tried to infiltrate Earth's atmosphere. We sought every one of them, Reed said. We tracked every ship, recorded every scan, intercepted every transmission. Not because we were hostile, but because we were careful, very careful. An alien representative stood up, one of the elders from a species known for their advanced stealth technology. Impossible. Our cloaking systems are perfect. No primitive world could detect them. Reed smiled. Would you like to know how many of your ships we've tracked in the last month alone? He displayed a list of dates, times, and ship signatures. The elder's face turned a pale shade of blue. We didn't just study your technology, Reed explained. We improved it, combined it, created something new. The shield that protects Earth isn't just one technology. It's a combination of 17 different alien defense systems, enhanced by human innovation. The chamber erupted in shocked whispers. 17 different technologies working together should have been impossible. The power requirements alone would be astronomical. Reed held up his hand for silence. I know what you're thinking. It should be impossible. But humans have a talent for doing the impossible. When we capture a ship, we don't just copy its technology. We ask questions. How can this be better? What if we tried something different? What if we combined this with that? He gestured to a small device on his wrist. This simple scanner can detect any ship, any cloaking system, anywhere in our solar system. Would anyone like a demonstration? The chamber fell silent. Reed touched his scanner, and suddenly the main display showed 3 supposedly hidden ships currently watching the council chamber from orbit. We see everything, Reed said quietly. We always have. But we're not here to threaten. We're not here to dominate. We're here to join you, as equals. A representative from a peaceful trading species stood up. If you have all this power, all this knowledge, why reveal it now? Why not stay hidden? Reed's face grew serious. Because the galaxy is changing. We've intercepted enough communications to know that resources are becoming scarce. Conflicts are brewing. Some species are looking at Earth as a target. We needed to make our position clear before mistakes were made. He looked around the chamber, meeting alien eyes of every shape and color. Earth is open for peaceful trade. Earth is willing to share some of our defensive innovations. Earth is ready to be part of the galactic community. But Earth will not be threatened, invaded, or controlled. The chamber was completely silent now. Every representative was realizing the same thing. Humanity hadn't just caught up with their technology. In some ways, they had surpassed it. The choice is yours, Reed concluded. We can be your greatest allies or your worst nightmare. We prefer allies. We've always preferred allies. That's why we waited, watched, and learned instead of shooting first. As he stepped away from the podium, the chamber burst into activity. Species that had been enemies for centuries were now talking quietly together. united in their need to understand this new power in the galaxy. Earth had made its point. Now, the real diplomacy could begin. The emergency meeting of the Galactic Council started with chaos. Half the alien representatives were shouting for peace with Earth, while the others demanded immediate action against what they saw as a growing threat. High above the council chamber, Commander Walker and Captain Stone watched from Earth's new embassy, a floating station that had appeared overnight, built with technology that made most alien species' heads spin. "They're splitting into groups," Stone said, watching the holographic display of the chamber, "just like we predicted." Walker nodded. Fear or friendship, it always comes down to those two choices. Below them, the leader of the War Council, a tall being with metallic scales, was speaking. Earth must be contained. They've hidden their true power for decades. Who knows what other secrets they're keeping? The Trading Guild's representative, a peaceful being with 4 arms, stood in opposition. Earth stopped a battle fleet without killing anyone. They've had the power to attack us for years, but chose peace. We should be learning from them, not threatening them. Walker touched a control panel, and the station's sensors showed 12 warships hiding behind the system's third moon. They belonged to the species who feared Earth the most. "Should we warn them about their ships?" Stone asked. Walker smiled. "Wait for it." In the council chamber, Ambassador Reed stood up. His timing was perfect, just as the argument reached its peak. Perhaps a demonstration would help settle this debate. He pressed a small button on his podium. Suddenly, every screen in the chamber showed the hidden warships. Another button press, and all faster-than-light drives in the system simply stopped working. "What have you done?" the War Council leader demanded. "Nothing harmful," Reed assured them. "We've simply activated our solar system's defense grid. Any ship in our system can now only move at normal speed. No quick escapes, no surprise attacks." The chamber went quiet. The ability to disable faster-than-light travel across an entire solar system was supposed to be impossible. "This is why we're revealing ourselves now," Reed continued. "Not to threaten, but to prevent tragedy. Those warships hiding behind the moon, their weapons would have bounced off our shields. Their attacks would have failed, and we would have been forced to respond." He walked to the center of the chamber, his voice carrying to every corner. "Earth doesn't want enemies. We've had 70 years to prepare for war, but we've spent that time learning how to prevent it instead." The Trading Guild representative spoke up. "What exactly are you offering?" Reed smiled. "Partnership. Earth's defensive technology in exchange for peaceful trade. We can help protect your worlds the same way we protect ours. No more surprise attacks. No more hidden invasions." The War Council leader's scales rattled with anger. "And if we refuse?" "Then nothing changes," Reed said calmly. "You go your way, we go ours. But remember, we can see your ships anywhere in our system. We can stop any attack before it starts. And we've probably already captured examples of your best technology." The chamber erupted in discussion. Species that had been enemies for centuries were now talking about alliance, not against Earth, but with Earth. The protection humanity offered was too valuable to ignore. Up in the embassy station, Walker watched as the hidden warships began slowly moving away from the moon, their faster-than-light drives still disabled. "How long will you keep them at normal speed?" Stone asked. "Just until they leave the system," Walker replied. "It's important to be firm but fair." The station's sensors showed more ships arriving. Diplomatic vessels now, not warships. Species that hadn't spoken to each other in generations were requesting meetings with Earth's representatives. "It's working," Stone said, watching the growing crowd of ships. "They're choosing friendship over fear." Walker looked out at the stars. "That was always humanity's strength. Not our weapons or our shields, but our ability to turn enemies into allies, to find better solutions than war." Below them, the council chamber had turned into an impromptu celebration as more and more species signed up for Earth's defensive partnership program. The galaxy was changing, and humanity had managed to guide that change without firing a shot. Now the real work could begin, teaching others how to protect themselves, while making sure nobody ever again saw Earth as an easy target. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility unknown even to most of Earth's governments, Dr. Ross stood before a wall of glowing blue crystals. Each one pulsed with enough energy to power a small city. "It's time they knew," he said to Commander Walker, who stood beside him. "The real reason they've all been so interested in Earth." The facility stretched for miles under the ocean floor. Automated mining machines, built with a mix of human and alien technology, worked tirelessly to extract more of the precious blue crystals. "The Galactic Council representatives are arriving now," Walker replied, checking his tablet. "Are you sure we should show them everything?" Dr. Ross nodded. "They need to understand why we were so careful for so long." Above them, 3 alien ships landed on a hidden platform that rose from the ocean. Ambassador Reed led the group of alien representatives, the most powerful members of the Galactic Council, into the underwater facility. "Welcome to Deep Point Station," Reed said as the group entered the main chamber. "What you're about to see is the real reason Earth has been a target for so long." The aliens gasped as they saw the wall of crystals. One of them, a being made mostly of light, spoke first. "Impossible. These are star cores, the rarest power source in the known galaxy. We call them blue fire," Dr. Ross explained. "Earth has the largest deposit ever discovered. We found the first one in 1947, the same day we captured our first alien ship." The alien representatives moved closer to the crystal wall, their eyes wide with wonder. Star cores powered the fastest ships, the strongest weapons, and the most advanced technologies in the galaxy. Most species would go to war over just one crystal. Earth had thousands. "This is why you all kept sending ships," Walker said quietly. "Your scans detected the energy, but you couldn't believe what you were seeing. Each ship that came to investigate, we captured. Each piece of technology, we studied, all to protect this." Dr. Ross touched one of the crystals, and a holographic display appeared in the center of the room. It showed a map of Earth's interior, with blue spots marking massive crystal deposits. "We have enough star cores to power every civilization in the galaxy for 1,000 years, he explained. "But we knew if anyone found out too soon, it would mean war. So we waited. We learned. We prepared." One of the alien representatives, a tall being with silver skin, stepped forward. "All this time, we thought Earth was hiding weapons. Instead, you were protecting the greatest treasure in the galaxy. And now you know why we had to be so careful," Reed said. "Why we couldn't just announce ourselves to the galaxy. Why we needed defenses no one could break." Dr. Ross pressed another button, and part of the wall slid away to reveal a massive laboratory. Inside, human scientists worked alongside alien researchers who had chosen to stay and help after their ships were captured. "Everything we built, our shields, our sensors, our ships, it was all powered by these crystals," Dr. Ross explained. "We didn't just copy your technology. We improved it because we had an energy source strong enough to power innovations you thought were impossible." Walker stepped into the center of the room. "Earth is ready to share this resource, but it will be done carefully, fairly, and under our control. The crystals stay here, but their power can be distributed across the galaxy." The alien representatives looked at each other. The power to end energy shortages across the galaxy was standing right in front of them. But accessing it would mean accepting Earth's terms. "Any species that signs our peace treaty will have access to star core power," Reed explained. "Any species that chooses conflict will be cut off. It's that simple." Dr. Ross smiled as he watched the aliens discuss among themselves. After 70 years of hiding, of careful planning and preparation, Earth was finally ready to take its place as one of the most important worlds in the galaxy. Not through war, not through conquest, but through the careful, patient protection of a resource that could change everything. The truth was finally out, and with it came the dawn of a new age of peace, powered by the blue fire that burned beneath Earth's oceans. 1 year after Earth revealed its secrets, The view from the International Space Station had changed completely. Where once there was empty space, now hundreds of ships from different alien species moved in careful, organized patterns, each one powered by Earth's star core energy, each one following Earth's traffic control rules. Commander Walker stood at the station's main window, watching a massive trading vessel dock at one of the new orbital platforms. Its hull glowed with the familiar blue light of star core power. "Latest numbers are in," Captain Stone said, joining him at the window. 212 species have signed the Earth Protection Treaty. Only 3 are still holding out. Walker smiled. "And how are those 3 doing without star core power for their ships?" "Not well. Their trading routes take 4 times longer now that they're back to using old power sources. Their people are getting restless." Below them, Earth shimmered under its defensive shield, now visible as a slight blue tinge in the atmosphere, not because it needed to be visible, but because Earth had chosen to let others see it as a reminder. In the station's main conference room, Ambassador Reed was meeting with representatives from the latest group of worlds to join the treaty. Dr. Ross stood beside him, explaining how the star core power distribution would work. "Each world gets enough power to meet their needs, delivered through our secure network," Dr. Ross explained, pointing to a holographic map of the galaxy. Blue lines showed the energy flow from Earth to hundreds of worlds. "The more you cooperate, the more power you receive." One of the new representatives, a small being with crystalline skin, raised a hand. "But Earth keeps all the star cores." "Yes," Reed answered firmly. "We've seen what happens when too much power is in too many hands. This way ensures peace. Everyone gets what they need. No one can abuse it." The meeting was interrupted by a flash of light outside the window. Everyone turned to watch as a ship appeared, one of the new Earth Defense Fleet vessels. It was smaller than most alien warships, but far more advanced. A perfect mix of human innovation and alien technology, powered by the endless energy of star cores. "That's the Guardian," Stone explained to the amazed representatives. "First of our new patrol ships. It can reach any point in the galaxy in minutes, powered by pure star core energy." Walker touched a control panel, and the station's shields became visible for a moment. A complex network of energy patterns that no known weapon could penetrate. Several alien representatives nodded in appreciation. Their own worlds now had similar shields, thanks to Earth's protection program. "Did you ever imagine it would turn out like this?" Stone asked Walker quietly. He shook his head. "When we caught that first ship in 47, we thought we were just protecting ourselves. Instead, we ended up protecting everyone." Dr. Ross joined them, holding his tablet. "The latest survey shows star core deposits that could last 10,000 years, even with current usage rates. We've got enough power to keep the peace for a very long time." On the main screen, reports streamed in from across the galaxy. Old conflicts were ending as former enemies found it more profitable to trade using Earth's power network. Species that once built warships were now building trading vessels and exploration craft. Earth's final warning turned into Earth's finest moment, Reed said, joining the group. "We showed them we were ready for anything. Ready to fight if we had to, but more ready to help if they let us." Through the window, they could see more ships arriving. Diplomatic vessels, trading ships, even the first joint human-alien cultural exchange mission preparing to leave for the galaxy's core worlds, each one powered by the blue fire from Earth's depths, each one following Earth's guidelines for peace. The old era of suspicion and hidden strength had ended. The new era of open cooperation had begun, and at the center of it all was Earth, no longer just defending itself, but helping to defend everyone. Humanity's warning had turned into humanity's promise, a future where power meant responsibility, where strength was used to protect, and where the stars themselves were lit by the blue fire of Earth's endless gift to the galaxy. Peace through power, protection through preparation. A new age built on 70 years of patient planning. Earth was ready. Earth was willing. And now, Earth was leading the way to something better.